bungee jumping in Cairns, which a lot of people do in Cairns. It's called Sky Park. And then you have the Capta group, which has a lot of rainforest experiences, activities in terms of adventure. They have the Wildlife Dome, which is right in the heart of Cairns City. So that's Cairns for you. There's heaps more, but I'm going to just quickly... So sorry, there's a technical issue. Sorry, I'll just go back a few slides. Okay, this was a slide we had to get to. Okay, coming to the Great Barrier Reef, of course. We have a lot of Great Barrier Reef options or day trip options, and these are obviously, Sun Lover, there's Dreamtime Dive and Snorkel, and Lady Elliot Island, which is the last island of the Great Barrier Reef as well, which can be accessed from Brisbane and Gold Coast. Now everyone asks, oh, can we do the Great Barrier Reef from Brisbane and Gold Coast? You can. Okay, so please remember that. You can access Lady Elliot Island on a day trip. You can also stay overnight. They have glamping options there. So you can do it from Brisbane. It's a 90-minute flight, and from Gold Coast as well. So it's a very short flight. It's a small aircraft, so it's not a big jet. Okay, there are only 12 people per plane. So again, it's an experience that gets sold out, so you've got to really get in there and book early. That's the most important thing. But it's absolutely stunning. The marine life is just outstanding on Lady Elliot Island. This is a very new experience also. This is called the Museum of Underwater Art. Now this is amazing. This is the only underwater museum in Australia. This again, you have to, because it's underwater, you have to either dive or snorkel to experience it. But the good thing is you don't have to be a certified diver to do it. So you can do it on an introductory dive as well. So again, even if you're not a good swimmer, diving is a lot more easier, I think, for non-swimmers or anyone who's not very confident in the ocean. You can do an introductory dive. It's only 2 hours from the city called Townsville. Now Townsville is south of Cairns. You have to fly into Townsville from Cairns and then you can go on a day trip to do this, and you can do another experience. You can stay there for 2 nights and do other experiences out in Townsville. Adventure on the Gold Coast, I don't have to tell you anything about this, but I'm just going to quickly focus on the new Gold Coast Heli Skydive. Again, one of its kind in Australia. You can only do it on the Gold Coast. Jump off a helicopter. I think jumping off normal planes has become so passé, like jumping off a helicopter now is more fun. So this is an experience that was introduced earlier this year, and it's selling like hotcakes. So again, if any one of your clients wants to do a skydive experience, you can do this, which is quite unique in Australia. Brisbane, like I mentioned, it's not just about the accommodation, of course, but there is so much of experiences as well. I've just named 4 big ones here. But you have River to Bay, the Story Bridge climb. We are one of the 3 bridge climbs in the world. Of course, you have the Harbour Bridge as well. And the Story Bridge is an option as well that you can climb. So it's an easy climb, and it's a great time. I think the best time to do it would be in the evening at twilight. It's a great view of the city. Brisbane is an outdoor city, so you will see all the locals out walking, running, jogging, abseiling in the middle of the day, literally. So adventure is just a part of the DNA of Brisbane. So you'll see a lot of people kayaking, a lot of locals kayaking in Brisbane as well. So you can just do that as actually an activity for your clients with River Life Adventure Centre. Coming to Sunshine Coast and Fraser Coast. Now, these are the 2 highlights of Sunshine Coast. If ever anyone said how or what do I do in Sunshine Coast, you need to cover these 2. One is the Great Beach Drive, which is the 75-mile beach that you drive on. This is not a regular, you can't drive a regular car, you have to drive a 4-wheel drive. But again, for Indians, we do not recommend driving on the beach. I don't know how many of you have seen that clip that popped up in Goa where somebody was driving on the beach and got stuck in the sand. So we don't want that happening. We know that that's going to happen eventually. So you do a tour of this. So there are touring options where you do a full day out on the Great Beach Drive Beautiful lunch. Again, Diksha has done it very recently, so she'll vouch for it. Stunning lunch.
A run-of-the-mill accommodation with dangerous screening paths. Cheeky fellow.
And everyday locals you can learn from.
Like her. And them.
Then there's your standard meeting rooms, like here. Here.
Here. Not even here. All with space to think and dream.
And while you're dreaming, you've got your usual blanket of stars and dishes featuring indigenous ingredients handpicked from a land as ancient as time itself.
And that's food for thought.
And of course you already know about the islands, the largest reef, the widest beaches, joy flights, joy rides, bridge climbs, historic wineries and quackers.
The typical things that make up every business event, right?
So if you're looking for the usual things for your next business event,
There's nothing like Australia.
So some amazing destinations and experiences you can have, and I want to show you a video of something that was done in Perth. Now this is the Optus Stadium, now renamed the Perth Stadium. It's got awards for the world's best stadium 3 years running. Right? This is also the place where India played South Africa very recently in October. So have a look at this video. This is something that you can do for an incentive experience, out of the world incentive experience. This was a buyout. The company had bought out the entire Perth Stadium and organized a sit-down dinner on the ground, on the field. So this can be done. Top reasons for our growth: visa process, personalized for corporate incentives. Very easy, straightforward, guaranteed 4-week turnaround time. State-of-the-art, world-class facilities, convention facilities, other venues. More than 100 new hotels, again 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, luxury hotels, aviation capacity, money can't buy moment experiences that we've just seen there. You can't do that as an individual, you can only do that as a corporate group or an incentive group. Even going to a vineyard, stomping the grapes and trying to blend your own wine, a lot of those experiences. Australia is rated extremely safe, even with corporates. Again, this is a separate research we did with corporate customers. And we are amongst the preferred business events or MICE destinations for Indians traveling overseas. We also have for large groups, we work closely with our state tourism partners to help you get funding to secure the group to Australia. Now you need to have a minimum group size of 700 or more and stay at least for 3 nights. Then we can help you to secure funding to help you to convert the business to Australia from any other competing destination. We'll talk about that as well. And we've got proven credentials to host large-scale events. The best example I can give you is more than 4,000 passengers that I've personally seen myself in 2012 when Amway India had their dealership summit in Melbourne. So they'd taken the entire MCG and there was a sit-down dinner organized in the MCG. They spent almost 5 nights just in Melbourne and then did all the experiences, Phillip Island, Mid Ocean Road, Yarra Valley, and so on. Other important factors is amazing nightlife and entertainment, which you may not experience everywhere else. Indian food is not a problem anywhere. Language is not a problem. It's an all year round destination, like we said. So winter is enjoyable. All experiences are open. In summer, everything is open, and we are here to help support you. Yeah? So come to us with information. We'll help support you and help you to secure that business for Australia. So in conclusion, really, there is truly nothing like Australia for business events or MICE, and we're happy to talk to you more in detail about that. So, in summary, before I hand over to Diksha, talk about the Aussie Specialist Program. One key takeaway from here is we really need your help and your support to sell more of Australia. Now, what does this 1:1:1 mean? We want everyone in this room, every individual, to sell at least one family or one couple to Australia every month from your office. That's your target, right? So if your team is 5 people, there should be 5 every month you should be selling to Australia, right? That's what 1:1:1 is. All right? Thank you. I'll hand over to Diksha.
Thank you, Samar. Can you hear me, right? Perfect. I'm not really good at this. You hear me? Perfect. Yeah. So, how many of us here are Aussie specialists already, or are part of the Aussie Specialist Program? Great. How many of us are active right now? How many of us are logged in? I know Vinay is. Okay, so we have a very small number actually. So just so you know, the Aussie Specialist Program underwent iterations in the last 1 year. So a lot of agents who have been part of the Aussie Specialist Program haven't logged in. Highly recommend that you do so. And in case if you have a problem, I'm the point of contact, and I'm right here, so you can reach out to me. For those who have not been part of the Aussie Specialist Program, it's basically a one-stop shop for every information that you need with regards to Australia. So irrespective of we exist or not, this exists, and you do not necessarily need to reach out to us for every single thing. You literally have the program, which is a very thorough, detailed website. It's a free registration, so it's simple. Basically, the Aussie Specialist Program is split into multiple content. It was a bit different. So I know a lot of agents who come up to me and say that 12 years ago I had to create an itinerary. It was very chaotic and it was very difficult. None of that exists anymore. Fine. To qualify as an Aussie specialist, all you need to do is, you see the first logo, the introduction to Australia. That's it. It takes less than 90 minutes to qualify as an Aussie specialist. It's that simple right now. Right. So step number 1, complete the introduction to Australia, and you qualify as an Aussie specialist in less than 90 minutes. Going forward, you get assigned to the Australia Foundation. I am going to show the screenshots of the website so you'll know what's happening. But just an FYI, the Australia Foundation has got the 3 state modules, the core state modules, which is New South Wales, meaning Sydney and surrounds. You've got Queensland, which is your Gold Coast, Brisbane, and you've got Victoria, which is Melbourne and surrounds. Right? So the first things that most of us already sell, I would recommend that you should complete the Australia Foundation. So your step number 1, introduction to Australia. You qualify as an Aussie specialist. So your step number 1 is done. Step number 2, the Australia Foundation. You're completing the 3 core modules, the first things that you guys already sell. Fine. When you finish these 2 is when you get access to the rest of the modules. Right? So you've got the Explorer section that you see is where you've got the other state modules. So you've got your Perth and surrounds, meaning Western Australia. You've got Canberra. So the rest of the states, like I mentioned, is part of the Explorer section. And then you've got the Lux Expert, you've got the Adventurer. So those are more specialized itineraries, modules, which you can do as and when you get the time for it. When you want to specialize more and more in Australia is when you go dig deeper and deeper. Right? So that's where you get into the Adventurer section, the Lux Experts, and so on and so forth. Someone already mentioned about the sustainable travel. So you get access to, say, all these modules, like I mentioned, when you finish the Australia Foundation, then you get access to all of it, including the sustainable travel. So if you focus on that, I would recommend please complete the course there. And last, the Come and Say Good Day, the logo that you see at the right bottom, even if you've not qualified, even if you're just registered, you can still complete the Come and Say Good Day module. Now this is a sweet little 3-set module, which is basically talking about Ruby's journey across Australia. So the brand campaign video that you saw, 8 minutes. So it's an extension of this. It kind of teaches you as to what all you saw. You can actually sell that by learning this. And you do not even need to be a qualified Aussie specialist. You can get this, just search Come and Say Good Day and you will get the module. Fine? Now, how do we do this? Right? That's the website, AussieSpecialist.com. Sorry, just come on to this. You'll be directed to the India site directly. Register. Very simple. Right? One mistake that a lot of people do is that they don't subscribe to the newsletter. So basically what it means is it's not like we're bombarding you with messages. We're basically sending you invites. We're sending you invites to the webinar, invites to the roadshows. People don't receive it. Why? Because they're not subscribed. It's as simple as that. So we're not going to bombard you anything more than 2 or 3 mails a month. So I would humbly request you, please subscribe to the newsletter. Sorry. So for the first timers, when you come to the website, what you get is you automatically get assigned to the Introduction to Australia. The one I mentioned, the one that takes 90 minutes to qualify, that helps you qualify, that thing. You automatically get assigned to that, right? So do that. But before you do that, I would recommend take the welcome tour. It's a 2-minute thing. It just tells you what the website has to offer. So, for example, where are the destination itineraries, the guides, so on and so forth. It's nice. Take a tour. Fine. For those who have not updated their profile and those agents who've done a lot of switching in the last 2 years, please update your profile. There is no way I would know if you've changed your jobs. Even if you write to me, I will say please log on to your account and update your profile. How do you do that? It's very simple. You click on update profile. Okay. You get to the profile, change the bio, your company name, email ID, and again, even here you have the option of subscribing to the newsletter. So for my agents who have been part of the program but have done changes in their, switched companies, you might want to change the email ID, you might want to change the name of your company. So please do all of that, fine? And in case if you have a problem in logging into your account, I'll give you my email ID and you can just reach out to me and I'll take care of it. Fine? We mentioned about the introduction. How do we do this? Very simple. When you come to the Introduction to Australia, all you need to do is register. You click on register, basically, and then you get access to all the 5 sections of Introduction to Australia. You just click on the word launch, the module pops up, you complete the modules, that's it, you're done. When you're done, that's it. So this is like a pop-up, basically saying that you've qualified as an Aussie specialist. So a lot of people write to me saying, where do I find my certificate? It's here, right here. So say for example, for those agents who have already qualified and are searching for their certificate, just on the search tab, type Introduction to Australia, you will land here and you see that option, print certificate, just click on that and you'll be able to download your certificate. And similarly for the Aussie Specialist badge, just search on the search tab, Aussie Specialist badge, you will get access to it, and this is only for those who qualify as an Aussie Specialist. So please do that before expecting a certificate. I've had mails on that also, so yeah. So this is fairly simple, nothing too complicated, right? Now, I mentioned about how I would highly recommend that you should do the Australia Foundation. The Australia Foundation has got the 3 core courses, meaning your New South Wales, meaning Sydney and surrounds, Melbourne and surrounds, Gold Coast Brisbane, the ones that we usually sell. So at least, let's begin with, after you qualify as an Aussie Specialist, finish the Introduction to Australia, let's at least do the Australia Foundation, right? When we do that, then like I mentioned, you get access to all the other courses that I mentioned, your Canberras, your Western Australia, your sustainability, everything else you get access to after you finish this. It is exactly the same process. You click on registered. When you reach there, you click on launch when you see the module, and the module pops up, complete, and that's it, you're done. That's as simple as that. And I am not saying that you need to complete every single module, but I would recommend that whenever you get the time. So at least step number 1, finish your Introduction to Australia, qualify in 90 minutes, and then as and when you get a time, complete the courses, because that doesn't really take a lot of time. And I've had enough of agents who've written to me saying that, it got so interesting that we'll end up completing all the 27 courses at one go. I've had people say that. So I'm hoping you get to enjoy the learning process of it and complete, right? Okay. Now, someone mentioned about the Trade Resource Hub. So we've also had a lot of agents asking us, how do we get marketing materials? This is your baby, resources.australia.com. We will be sharing the PPT, so don't worry, but it would be a good thing to write the website. It's resources.australia.com. Now this is, what you need to do is register with your official email ID. I would prefer that you do that with your official email ID, do so. It gives you access to all the images, videos, marketing collateral, so like actual social media post, how do we post, all the information is here, you can just download it. So you know, so it's actually like a shopping cart, so you kind of book, you order and you get it. Only thing is you're not paying for anything, it's for free, but it works like a shopping cart, right? So do so. And sorry, someone also mentioned about images.australia.com and videos.australia.com, right? So these are the 3 portals where you can get in all the videos and the marketing collaterals that you require. And last but not the least, Australia 365. Sam has already mentioned about this. We have 700 different operators that you can actually reach out to directly. One thing, again, it's the same logic. Here also you have to register with your using your official email ID, and you just click on the join event that you see at the top. It's as simple as that. In case if you have a problem with writing the URL, just Google Australia 365 on demand. You will be able to get the page, right? It's a bit a long URL, I get that. So just write Australia on demand 365. You should be able to get it on Google, register, and then get in touch with operators directly if you would like to. Just an addition to this is that operators who are offering discounted pricing for activities, you can do that. You can get in touch with operators here for that. So when you are doing your own personal travels, you can get discounted rates or free of cost for different activities. So since we've got 700 different operators, we have 700 different experiences. Just so you know, they will ask you for your Aussie Specialist certificate. So again, going back, you need to qualify as an Aussie Specialist to avail to this free FOCs and discounted pricing for different experiences to Australia. And here's my email ID. So you can reach out to me, or you could reach out to my colleague Ritu. With regards to the Aussie Specialist program, I would request you to reach out to me because that's my baby, and I'm right here. So once everything is done, you can come and get my visiting card. Yeah, and I would like to introduce Raina. Oh, so, I'm so sorry. So we have someone who's continuing with the presentation. Thank you so much. We take questions. We take questions later. Yep.
Thanks, Diksha. So yeah, the Aussie Specialist program is becoming easier and easier for everyone to do, and hope everyone registers and completes it as soon as tomorrow. I know Raina is very excited to share all the new updates, and I know you guys are excited to go to Queensland with Raina, but I just need 5 more minutes because you need to get the visa to go there in the first place. Right? So if you don't have the visa, unfortunately nobody's going anywhere. So we've covered quite a few of the things, so I'll quickly go through this, just give me 5 minutes. So I'll take you through what the changes have been, what is the offering, the visa application charge waiver, very important thing I want to stress on, creating group IDs, payment issues, then the visa refresher, what to look out for, common reasons why visas are delayed, a little bit on fraud trends, and then Q&A we can always do later. Okay, so like I mentioned, 100% online, no paper lodgements, no VFS, and lodgements are extremely high, so pent-up demand is high, so we encourage everyone to lodge as early as possible. Australia is one of the very few countries that allows you to lodge a visa application up to 1 year in advance of your intended travel date. Please note, you don't need proof of a confirmed booking, hotel booking, or an itinerary, or a package, or air ticket to lodge a visa application, right? So please keep that in mind. Just a letter and the documents from the applicant, form 929 if you're lodging the application, that all needs to be uploaded along with the standard requirements. Yeah. So please apply early. Don't wait 1 month before booking everything, and they say now it's non-refundable, now visa is not coming, so now you have to cancel, now can you push my visa? You can't push any visa. This is typically what happens. So when you're talking to your customers, the moment they've decided I want to go to Australia in April, start the visa process now itself. Because the visas will be valid for at least a year or 3 years, multiple entry. So there's no fear of, okay, the visa will come, but I will not be able to travel, then my visa gets lost. That won't happen. So the advantages of the Australian visa system is you don't have to queue up anywhere, no VFS, no going anywhere to submit physical applications. You don't have to hand over your passport, so your passport remains with you. No biometric collection, nothing of that sort. The visa fee remains the same at 145 Australian dollars. It has not changed for the longest. The Australian dollar, in fact, has become weaker. So the Australian dollar is now at about 51 or 52. So it's become even more affordable to lodge a visa application now. Fast track option, if someone has an emergency, a business traveler has a meeting, somebody has to go for something urgently and can't wait, or on the spot decision, there is the option to apply using a fast track fee. That comes on the last page. It'll ask you a question, do you want to avail the fast track option, which is available at an initial fee of $1,000. It's a guaranteed processing time of 48 hours. Please note, it's a guaranteed processing time of 48 hours. It's not a guaranteed grant. Right? So money doesn't equal grant. Money equals guaranteed processing time within 48 hours. Standard visa product now is between 12 and 36 months and multiple entry. So 1 year to 3 years. Yeah? So that's very important. Processing time still is 6 to 8 weeks, but we have seen visas come through in 7 days. A lot of visas have come through in 7 days. Some visas have come in 15 days, some 21 days. So they're different time spans. Therefore, just lodge the application as soon as the customer says, I want to go to Australia. Even if they don't go, it's fine. They'll have a 3-year multiple entry visa. They can always go later. This is very important. We recognize the importance and the loss that people have incurred during the pandemic. So we launched a very special scheme. I think we are the only tourism board, along with Mission, Visa Processing Mission, that have launched this concept. Visas that expired between 20th March 2020 and 30th June 2022 are eligible to reapply for a free visa if you apply by 31st December 2022. So you literally have 1 more month to get a free visa for 3 years. So again, just repeating what I was saying, customers thinking of Australia, and if they had a valid visa which expired during the pandemic years, launch the visa application now. Before 31st December, they'll be eligible for a free visa for as long as 3 years. Yeah, very important. You must lodge through your EMI account. Yeah, no VFS. Please note, there's no VFS, no paper lodgements. Everything is through the EMI account. Now, creating group IDs. A lot of people lodge a honeymoon couple or even a group of family as separate applications. But if they're a party traveling together, please create a group ID on your own. So this is how you create a group ID. It asks you a question. Has the group ID already been created? Yes, no. And then you simply follow the next steps. So what constitutes a group? Minimum 2 people constitutes a group, right? So friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, doesn't matter. Yeah? Please create the group ID.
What is the maximum group?
Minimum is 2.
Maximum?
No maximum.
Nothing, right?
1,000 also. Doesn't matter. One group. For incentives, that's how they operate. A group ID is created by the commission, and all applications are lodged using the group ID. So the process is very streamlined. What happens in this case is, I'll tell you, if there are 2 separate applications are lodged, they will go to different officers. There's no connection between the 2 applications. If you attach this group ID, it will go to one officer and they'll see that this is part of a similar program that they're going together. For the Men's World Cup also, there's a separate arrangement done for ICC. Again, that was very streamlined the process. The visas were coming in 7 days if you were going to watch the ICC T20 World Cup. Payment. Sometimes you face payment issues. So there are other options to pay. You can pay by BPay. I think there was a PayPal option as well. But most often debit credit card works. In the case that it doesn't work, sometimes it doesn't work, is because there's a mismatch between the card holder's details that the bank has and what is with you. So those 2 need to match. Otherwise, it will get declined. Or if there's a wrong PIN or wrong OTP entered, it gets declined. So any decline issue, please don't take it up with the bank. It's not an issue at the EMI account end. It's more something was entered incorrectly or there's a mismatch on some information. So just a quick refresher. Please lodge complete applications. Don't leave any of the fields blank. Enter everything. Even the optional fields, lodge as many papers as you can. Bank statements, financial statements, IT returns, any other fixed deposits, any other holdings to assess the person's financial wealth. Make sure that you ask your clients the questions before lodging the applications, before uploading on the documents. And clearly identify if you're lodging on behalf of your client that you are the agent. So there's form 929 that needs to be uploaded. That is the client gives you the authority to lodge the visa application on their behalf. So that form needs to be completed and uploaded here during the application. Okay. So the special scheme like we were talking about for incentives in visa processing, you write to the High Commission, they generate a group name and a group ID for that group, and you simply lodge all the documents using that group ID, and one officer or a group of officers will process that entire application together. So it's a very streamlined process, and this is the email ID that you can write to. We'll be sharing the entire deck with you, so you'll have all these slides, and all these links will be valid there and there. Yeah, this is just a snapshot of what I've just repeated. You can use that, and you can even share this with your clients. That's it. That's it from us. Yeah. I'll hand over now to Raina to take you through her personal journey of Queensland.
Thank you so much, Samar.
Sorry, yes, we have just one question.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Can you talk something about the transit visas?
Yeah, transit visa is gratis. It's the same process, lodged online itself. Yeah. And it's
What is the timeline usually?
It's generally between 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it's multiple. So every entry, depending on the nature, usually is given for 3-month period. Multiple entry within that 3-month period. So if you're going to, you shouldn't be. If you're going to New Zealand, you shouldn't be again. Then you're coming back, so you can always visit them.
Thank you so much, Samar. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Louder, come on. Good day. Good day. As loud as Ruby the Roo. Okay, so nice to see everyone's faces here, happy and smiling, and we're so happy to be back after 3 years in the market, seeing all of you, meeting all of you, old and new faces and friends from our industry. So I'm going to talk about the beautiful state of Queensland today. I'm sure you all know Gold Coast, Brisbane, Cairns, Great Barrier Reef. So you're all very familiar with the destination. But I hope I have some surprises for you in the presentation. Something that you'll go like, oh wow, I didn't know this. And something new and exciting that I want to share today. So just to give you a quick introduction on myself as well, my name is Raina Sequeira. I've been the country manager of Tourism and Events Queensland back in April 2022. And we're going to talk about how to say good day in Queensland, Australia. So there are so many ways to say good day in Queensland, where you chase the waves at the incredible beaches, enjoying the outdoor city lifestyle, getting up close to unique wildlife, toasting to world-class dining that's fresh from farm to table, and hearing stories from the world's oldest living cultures. From Gold Coast to Brisbane, from Cairns to the Whitsundays, and the world-famous Great Barrier Reef, there are so many places that you can come and say good day in Queensland. We're going to show you a quick video now.
This is Queensland, Australia, where there's lots of ways to say g'day. There's the 65,000-year-old way, or the fast way. You can say g'day the Brisbane way, the swell way, the scenic way, or the whale way. Then there's the outback way, the Great Barrier Reef way, the family way, and the only in Australia way. So, when you say g'day, come and say g'day the Queensland way.
So we'll start with firstly with aviation access. I'm sure you're all aware so much has changed after the pandemic, right? In terms of the flights coming back, of course, Samar has touched upon the aviation access into Australia on the whole. But Queensland has seen a lot of changes with flights coming in as well. Singapore Airlines flies 3 times daily into Brisbane, very important, of course, via Singapore. We have Singapore Airlines flying into Cairns as well, which is a great option for you to start your holiday in Cairns and then go on further to Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and elsewhere. They fly at the moment 5 times a week, so we're hoping they'll go daily at some point. We also have flights on Scoot from Singapore directly into Gold Coast. So a lot of people do use this option as well, especially a lot of VFR or people who really do not want or care about honestly spending too much on a flight and just want to spend more on experiences and cut down on their flight costs. They do choose to fly Scoot as well. And Malaysia Airlines at the moment actually flies 3 times a week into Brisbane, but sadly they have just announced that they're pulling out of Brisbane in March 2023. So please note that as well. Okay, so we'll start with talking about accommodation. Now, over the years, now I've probably been with Queensland actually 14 years now, in and out, and I can assure you that things have changed so much. Accommodation has changed so much. The whole luxury offering of 5-star properties has changed over the past 4 years. And obviously during the pandemic, there was a lot of development happening. There's still a lot of development in process, which I will take you through. But the whole idea of how people want to stay on their holiday is no more the same as what it was pre-pandemic. People prefer not just hotel rooms now, but also going in for options like glamping on their holidays. It's becoming a very cool option that a honeymoon couple would enjoy. Staying in cabins instead of a big 5-star hotel. Staying in the heart of nature. Literally walking out of their doorstep and being on the Great Barrier Reef. And also staying on a pontoon on the Great Barrier Reef. So there are so many new options of accommodation that have opened up now. And obviously the world's the limit. Like you can sell based on whatever your clients want. There's something for everyone. So we'll start with Cairns at the Great Barrier Reef. We've had a great influx of 5-star luxury properties in Cairns. I know it was a destination that everyone wants to go on holiday to, but suffered in terms of accommodation options and having really good 5-star options. Starting 2018, we had the first Crystal Brook Hotel open that's called Riley. So that was a fabulous, beautiful resort, contemporary style hotel bang on the Cairns Esplanade. So you really are in the heart of the action. Really great for couples, families, for longer stays. If you have a 4-night itinerary in Cairns, fantastic for that segment of traveler. They have Cairns' only rooftop bar, which is really nice, and it's become a big trend as well for people who want to go and have some taste of the nightlife. And again, from the same hotel group, you have Bailey that opened shortly after. This opened in 2019, and again, very, very cool hotel. Now, one thing that has changed in terms of 5-star luxury also, there is a lot of focus on design, on global popular for Indian honeymooners. But the most of all is Qualia. Qualia is a luxury lodge of Australia, and it is absolutely stunning. And very recently, we had a movie shot there with 2 phenomenal stars. Julia Roberts and George Clooney just shot Ticket to Paradise in Qualia. So it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got windward pavilions and the seaward pavilions, beautiful plunge pools in the in the accommodation, and very popular. And there are some really unique experiences you can do when you're staying in Qualia, which I will take you through later. There are more island options in the Whitsundays as well. There's Hayman. It's now an intercontinental property. So intercontinental Hayman is quite popular for honeymooners. Daydream Island, a great family option it's a 4.5-star property, and you have to land on Hamilton Island and take a boat out to Daydream, or you land in Ellie Beach and you take a boat out to Daydream. Elysian Island Resort is a very, very unique. It's a new property as well. Only 10 private villas. So if you're looking for something really exclusive, you can look at Elysian as well. Now coming to Ellie Beach, I don't know have any of you heard of Ellie Beach before? Yeah? Okay, great. So Ellie Beach is basically the mainland of the Whitsundays. Okay, so you can fly into Ellie Beach. There's a airport called Proserpine Airport. You can fly in from Brisbane, you can fly in from Cairns, Sydney, Melbourne. They have flights from all over. So Ellie Beach has mostly apartment style accommodation. So please remember that if you won't find your, even I would say it's probably 4.5-star accommodation is what you can expect there. The marina almost looks like a Hamilton Island marina, to be honest. And you can do all the activities except for a few that are unique to Hamilton. You can do all of the reef. So you can go out to cruise with Sundays, you can do the Heart Reef, you can do Whitehaven Beach, everything from Ellie Beach. So that's another option if someone doesn't want an island and wants to go and stay on the mainland. Now this is the one I was saying, I hope you get surprised and it's a wow experience. This is called Reef Sleep and Reef Suites. Now the Cruise with Sundays the product has, which is the day trip to the Outer Barrier Reef, has now introduced 2 options to stay overnight on the pontoon. So you do 2 days and 1 night on the pontoon. Now please remember, this is not an island. This does not have any sand around it. You are literally staying on a fixed sort of barge that has been built close to the reef, okay? Now this is exactly here, if I'm pointing out right. This is where the reef is, this is where the pontoon is. And the day trip that you take when you're in Hamilton or Daydream or in Ellie actually goes to this pontoon. Now this is something that a honeymoon couple would love. You're sleeping under the stars, it does not get any better. I can't even call it the heart of the Great Barrier Reef, you're literally in the Great Barrier Reef. You have an option to choose Reef Suites, which is Australia's first underwater accommodation. So you're literally underwater and you're spending the night there, and they can do either a double or a twin bed option. They have only 2 rooms though, that's the only challenge, and the world is booking it. So availability sometimes does become an issue, but if you're lucky, you might just get the accommodation. If not, you have the option of doing the reef beds on Reef Sleep. This is on top of the deck. So once the day guests leave, they obviously get these beds out, they set it up. You have a cover on top of the bed as well, but you're sleeping under the stars. So it's really unique. You get to spend more time on the Great Barrier Reef as well. You get to snorkel longer, you get to dive longer, because the day guests go back. So you have the whole reef to yourself. So this is something that is very unique to Queensland. And I think the only place in the world that you can actually sleep on the reef is in Queensland. So definitely something that you should explore when you're looking at something offbeat for your honeymoon clients. Sunshine Coast. Has anyone heard about Sunshine Coast? Not you, Kavya. I know you've heard about Sunshine Coast. Anywhere else? Yes? Okay. So Sunshine Coast, I hope all good things, because I'm going to introduce you to the destination now. Again, we get a lot of questions of what is the difference between a Gold Coast and a Sunshine Coast, because people are like, okay, if I'm going to the Gold Coast, why would I do Sunshine Coast? Now, the stark difference I would say is it's a quieter, much relaxed beach destination. Again, the focus is beach, the focus is hinterland, because it has a mix of both. But it is for a more mature client, I would say, somebody who wants to self-drive and go, happy to pick up a car, say from Brisbane or Gold Coast, and drive up north to Sunshine Coast, they can do that. It's very nature focused. I would say actually there was an agent from Bangalore only who had visited Sunshine Coast, and I asked him what is the best thing or what was your experience. And he said the fact that I had to do nothing and just enjoy the destination, enjoy nature was the highlight. So you really don't have to do much in terms of experiences. The drive is the highlight. Going on this beach drive experience is the highlight. So there's so much of natural stuff that you can do there. And obviously there's great dining and not nightlife, I would say great dining options. No nightlife, okay, so you can forget about nightlife in Sunshine Coast. It's very quiet, you're one with nature, but great option for your honeymoon clients and even a few families if they wish to go. We do have accommodation up in Sunshine Coast as well. So you have beach accommodation, some very popular beaches in Sunshine Coast called Noosa and Malulapa. So these are really, beautiful apartment style accommodation. Again, there it's more predominantly apartments because a lot of locals go there. That's the difference. You don't see a lot of tourists in Sunshine Coast because a lot of Australians go there to holiday. So I will also add that it is a very, I would say, premium destination. It's not cheap, to be honest. So it's much more premium than a Gold Coast. And obviously, accommodation is apartment style because people like to stay longer there. So they like to cook their own food, but there are heaps of restaurants if you want to do that as well. So that's the difference. And there are obviously your brands like Sofitel is there, Seabill is there, Oceans Malulaba is there. There's an Avani Malulaba that's coming next year as well. So there's quite a bit of development happening on that front. Now, very contrasting to the beach and Sunshine Coast, you have the rainforest. Again, stunning, beautiful hinterland rainforest. Accommodation looks so different here. So you have Narrow's Escape Rainforest Retreat. Again, they've been coming down to the market several years, and Disha's smiling here because she just stayed in Narrow's Escape for a night, I think it was 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah. So she didn't want to leave. I had to drag her out of the room. So it's beautiful 6 cabins that they had earlier. They've added 2 more cabins now up in the, literally bordering the national park. So you can imagine how beautiful it is. No cell phone reception, which is fantastic. And now they also have 2 plunge pool cabins. So there's actually your own private pool, in your cabin, which is absolutely amazing. Now again, I will add rainforest accommodation in anywhere, probably in Australia. I would say, to do it in winter, because summer can get a little buggy in the rainforest. So winter is beautiful. It's like going on a hill station experience, in India as well. So it's absolutely stunning because they have these beautiful fireplaces in the cabins. You can enjoy the experience a lot more. We also have other accommodation options like Misty View cottages. Like you can see, they're very small, accommodation options. So they're not mass, they're very tiny, but they're fantastic. And now the India market, I've known quite a few honeymoon couples who've gone to Narrow's Escape. This is brand new. This actually opened in June, the Crocodile Hunter Lodge. Does anyone know who the Crocodile Hunter is in Australia? Yes, sir. Steve Irwin, exactly. So this is basically his dream, and he wanted to build an accommodation, or he had a really, wide dream, I would say, and his family has now realized this dream of his, where they've built 8 cabins very close to Australia Zoo. So you can actually stay on the property and then have direct access to Australia Zoo. So this is 8 now. It's going to go to 65 eventually. So that's their beautiful grand plan, and I'm sure it'll come true. It's great for families. Kids would love it. Even couples would love it. They have amazing kangaroos, wild kangaroos, just hanging around the property. So it's a really nice experience to be on Steve Irwin's property and actually staying there. Now, like I mentioned glamping earlier, we actually experienced this as well. This is called Habitat Noosa. Now, Sunshine Coast, like I said, has so many different kinds of accommodation, but this is a little different. We have the Noosa Everglades, which is one of the 2 Everglades in the world. So this is only up in Noosa and Sunshine Coast. Now, obviously, what is the Everglades? I will talk to you in a later slide. But this is literally on the border of the Everglades. So you're staying on this beautiful lake, by this beautiful lake. You have beautiful glamping tents, and I'm not kidding you. I thought that picture was photoshopped, but I can show you pictures off my phone where we had like 10 kangaroos just feeding outside our room. They are just there, they come in the evening, they come to feed on the grass, and they are all wild. None of them they're not part of a zoo or a sanctuary. So they're all wild, they're chilling, they're not affected by you, they just do their own thing. And it's a great accommodation style to stay. They do not have air conditioning in the glamping tents. So again, I would recommend winter is a better time to sort of experience these kind of accommodations. So 18 paper bark glamping tents, which is great for couples, and 13 wilderness safari tents, which is great for family. So these are the glamping options in Habitat. This is my favorite topic to talk about, Brisbane. Okay, so Brisbane, I know you'll be wondering why we're even talking about Brisbane from a holiday perspective, but think about it, okay? You are bringing your clients into Queensland via Brisbane to Gold Coast. Why not do Brisbane? It's a no-brainer, really. And I'm not saying it because, it's something that I have to say. I have truly experienced Brisbane go through a once-in-a-lifetime change in terms of just being a more tourist-friendly destination. It used to be a very corporate-focused destination earlier, but now it has so many leisure experiences, beautiful accommodation. Oh my God, there's so many different accommodation options now. Great shopping, great dining, great nightlife. And for those who are looking for nightlife and they go to Gold Coast, there's also a lot of great nightlife in Brisbane. It's a city that honestly I think never sleeps. Because we were out there I think it was a Wednesday, and the Howard Smith Wharfs area was full. There were like 5 restaurants, massive area. Each and every table was buzzing. And we were shocked because we thought Australians slept at 5 o'clock in the evening, but no, or 7 o'clock in the evening rather. But no, everyone was out there partying till 10, 11, and it was a really good vibe. So there's been a lot of influx of new hotels. Australia's first W hotel opened in Brisbane, and I think that's quite cool because W always has, on the best and hottest cities on their radar. So we have the W, we have Westin, we have all your 5-star hotels, global chains and Australian chains. And we also have another Crystal Brook now that has been introduced to Brisbane. Right below the Story Bridge is the Crystal Brook Vincent. And it's a really beautiful, again, art-focused hotel. I remember doing a site inspection there once, and there's a very big portrait of Amitabh Bachchan there. So I was quite surprised, but there's a whole history that goes back to how that picture landed up in the hotel. This is another hotel I actually stayed in recently. It's called Hotel X, very close to the Story Bridge again, and Hotel Indigo, which is close to the city where the shopping is. So again, what is common in all of these hotels? Of course, they are 5-star, but they are very design focused. I know Hotel X calls itself monochrome luxury. So very good, like Karl Lagerfeld products, a really good restaurant called Bisu Bisu, which is an Italian restaurant in the property, stunning rooftop bar. So there's a whole change, everyone's focusing on dining, nightlife. People are getting out and spending more there as well. So I'm talking about the locals as well. So it's something that obviously as tourists you can enjoy and get benefits out of that. Now this is a new hotel that we actually, I wouldn't call it a hotel, it's like a home really, that we did a site inspection of. It's called Miss Midgley's. It's very cute. It's a pink color house which has been converted into an accommodation option. It's got 1 bedroom and 3 2-bedroom apartments. Now again, in terms of location, it is located on the most popular street in Brisbane that's called James Street. Just up the road, it's really cute accommodation that you can stay at. It's got a great history to it. It was a hospital, it was an orphanage, then went on to becoming one of the architects who bought it, the family. And she has completely transformed this place. And all the rooms are named after like a school. It was also a school at one point. So there's the principal's office, all of these really cool names, the drawing room, and stuff like that. So very quirky, I would say. So if anyone is looking for something cool and quirky, Miss Midgley's is really something that you can suggest. The Carlisle is another beautiful brand it's managed by the TFE Hotels, and it's in James Street as well. Beautiful hotel. It's got 175 rooms. It's bang in the heart of James Street. You can go shopping, nightlife, cafes, everything is right there. Tangalooma Island Resort. So Tangalooma Island Resort